New Nintendo Direct updates, new Switch 2 third-party games, finally, and a big summer sale that gives us hints at what Nintendo is planning next. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. Let's get into the Nintendo news because there is a ton of it today, and we're kicking it off with a nice, spicy new game, NBA 2K26. Insiders say is getting a special Switch 2 version. There will still be a Switch 1 version that's not fully optimized and fully brought up to modern standards, and then there will be a Switch 2 version that matches up with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X version. Now, NBA 2K has been something that Nintendo has long touted as a good example of a Switch game, Switch 1 that is, that takes advantage of the technology. If you recall, NBA 2K 17 would have been around at the launch of Switch, and it was featured in the first Nintendo Switch reveal commercial. People were playing at the basketball courts, getting their 2K on. We were very excited, and I even reviewed some of the early 2Ks on Switch 1 and was impressed with how they ran and played considering the Switch 1. But now 2K26 should not be impressive because it's on the Switch, but just the game it's meant to be. Fully optimized game that really takes advantage of what the hardware can do is what insiders are saying. A September 5th launch date on Switch and Switch 2, which matches up with the PS5 and Xbox Series XS versions. There will not be PS4 or Xbox One X versions this year. There will just be next-gen versions, which is always a good sign, and tells me that the Switch 2 version of NBA 2K26 is going to be quite the looker. The Switch 1 version is going to be $60. The Switch 2 version is going to be $70. And hot diggity dog, we finally got some third-party news. There hasn't been any in a long time. I bet some people were starting to get scared, but this is really good. It shows that day and date is totally possible and is exactly what we should expect. Now, in terms of game key card, game code, none of that has been revealed or leaked as of late, but I would fully expect a game key card because NBA typically has a large file size. It stinks. It's not what we'd love, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe 2K will surprise us. They are going with the $70 price point. That should give them some space to do a cartridge if they want to, but let me know in the comments down below if you're pumped for 2K26, and even if it's a game key card, will you still be picking it up on the Switch 2? Something else you can pick up on Switch 2 is Nintendo's new summer deals. Now, you've probably seen their eShop deals running rampant for the last week or so, but Nintendo officially just announced a new retail deal. This is for physical games in the physical store, and I know a lot of you want to complete your physical collection or continue to build it. They've got 7 games that are getting $20 discounts, but what's interesting here is this list of 7 games very well could be 7 games that are all getting Switch 2 editions or Switch 2 upgrades in the near future. It very well may be the exact list of 7 games, and we can compare this to Nash Weedle's rumor/leak that Pikmin 4 is getting a Switch 2 edition, and then look at the other games that we know about. So Pikmin 4 is on here, Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is on here, Super Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 3, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Kirby Deluxe, and Super Mario RPG are on here. The only one that I don't think would get a Switch 2 upgrade or a Switch 2 edition would be the Kirby game. Return to Dreamland probably doesn't need it, and we are already getting a Kirby Switch 2 edition. Then again, Nintendo loves Kirby, so maybe they would double lit dip. But all these other games could easily take advantage. Animal Crossing could get a Switch 2 edition as we wait for the new Animal Crossing. Hey, they could announce the new Animal Crossing that Beat 'em Ups talked about, and then say, hey, in the meantime, we've got this Switch 2 edition of Animal Crossing New Horizons that makes the game purr and introduces some new exciting content to lead into the new game. Pikmin 4, obviously, we talked about yesterday. Mouse controls, bringing back the multiplayer mode, having that game look even more beautiful because it's a really nice looking game on Switch 1 and could definitely take advantage of Switch 2's wonderful lighting and power. Mario Odyssey, could it finally get some content? Would they do a Switch 2 edition for the 40th anniversary of Mario and bring some actual new worlds or new levels? Ooh, I get goosebumps just thinking about that because Odyssey has never gotten the new worlds, even though it's Mario's Odyssey. He's got that ship, he flies around, and it was perfectly ripe for DLC. They never delivered. Now, Splatoon 3 is another super interesting one because we know that they've got the Splatoon spinoff in the works that is going to be coming hopefully very soon. That means Splatoon 4 probably a ways off, and would they like to dabble in a Splatoon 3 Switch 2 edition to have that multiplayer component to match up with the spinoff being, we think, more of a single-player game. Mario RPG is a game that looked amazing but struggled a bit frame rate-wise. People are saying that the frame rate is great now on Switch 2, but could they push sort of a dedicated update to make it look even better and make it run even smoother? Mario Bros. U Deluxe probably doesn't need it, but I could see them doing a free update for that, just making sure that it runs smoothly as they get into the months of Mario. And then, like I said, Kirby Return to Dreamland probably doesn't need it, but hey, maybe it would get some sort of limited upgrade, again, just to boost frame rate and make things all per. Regardless, these games $20 off, I'd probably hold off. I don't know, unless you're desperately needing one of these, I feel like all of these could be had for cheaper if you wait and or are going to get Switch 2 editions, in which case maybe you'll want to get them when they have the Switch 2 version. But at the same time, if they are going to get Switch 2 editions, that's going to bump the price of these games to $80 most likely, which is insane to pay for a game that probably came out, in a lot of these cases, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. So maybe you do want to grab the physical version while it's on sale in expectation that the price is going to go up and people are going to value these carts because you can get the cart and then buy the upgrade versus buying the Switch 2 edition. Nonetheless, it's very interesting. These 7 games, just wanted to bring it to your attention, and hopefully we hear more about which titles are going to be upgraded and are getting Switch 2 editions at the next Nintendo Direct, which did not get announced today. Bummed about that because I thought, they announced it today, it's ready for Wednesday or Thursday, but we'll have to wait and see. There is an update to the date of the July Direct as Nashville has come through and made a video and categorized different leakers and insiders he talked to, stating that right now, between 5 sources, 3 say that it's this week, and 2 say the last week of July. Now, before I saw anything from Nashville, these were my picks for the weeks. Remember, it was either this week or it was going to be the last week because the 2 in the middle have Donkey Kong and Pokemon Presents. Those are off the table. And apparently that's the split that these insiders that Nashville has contact with believe as well, with 60% picking this week and 40% picking the last week. Though we're running out of time for this week, there still seems to be a little bit of debate how this Direct is going to be set up. Is it going to be a full-on Direct? Is it going to be a mini with a third-party focus and just some first-party dates? Are there actually 2 presentations, one being a third-party showcase and then a full-on Nintendo Direct that emphasizes the first-party lineup? How are they going to handle this? I gotta say, if I'm being totally honest with you, right now, I still think this week is viable, but I'm leaning more towards the last week. It feels like there's not much smoke right now, and Nintendo is already into Wednesday in Japan. They could, give us a Wednesday morning announcement for a Thursday morning Direct, but typically they like a 2-day for a general Direct. Unless it is a smaller Direct, then it could just pop up, or it could get a 24-hour announcement. I don't know. I'd love for it still to be this week, and I know that was my initial prediction, but given that we're already at mid-Tuesday with nothing, I'm going to go maybe more with these sources that are picking the last week of July. Maybe Nintendo really does feel like, hey, we want to get DK Bonanza out there. We want to get the Pokemon Presents and let Pokemon Legends ZA have its shine, and then we'll announce more stuff. Maybe they feel like it's just too busy and too messy to announce more stuff when they haven't really released anything more for the Switch 2. Remember, we still have only got Nintendo, Mario Kart World, and Welcome Tour on day 1. They haven't put out anything out since, so maybe they want to get one more game out before they really start turning the wheels on new developments. But alas, still have Nashville saying today, this morning, that 3 of his sources are saying this week, so anything could happen. We'll definitely check back in tomorrow morning and see if Nintendo has announced anything. But right now, it still feels very, very likely that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct this month. There's many multitudes of reasons for that. Some of them are leaks and some of them are just straight up logic because Nintendo does need to confirm dates for upcoming games and they do need to get some things out there and third parties need to start confirming their games. 2K probably would love to officially confirm 2K26 in this Direct after we had the insiders leak it earlier today, but we'll have to wait and see if a Direct actually pops up or not this week. If not, I'm definitely going to just lock in the last week of July. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you pumped for a third-party game, even if you're not an NBA fan, getting a day-and-date Switch 2 optimized version? Good sign, shows all is well on the Nintendo development front, and definitely some people do have dev kits if they're able to prep a September 5th game for a day-and-date release. You going to pick up any of those physical titles before they maybe get Switch 2 editions? And then how do you feel about the Direct? Still team this week? Team last week of July. Let me know your take in the comments down below, everybody. And until next time, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots. Switch Force out.